I just turned on the recording again, and it's too bad we didn't include that previous part, but the subject that we're dealing with is with all the problems and sorrows and things that we have in life, how can we deal with them effectively? What are the best techniques? What are the remedies? And the problem with that, from my point of view, is there's a million people out there that'll tell you how to do that on every area of life. But it's all within the framework of a better version of you. As meaning that you are still you. You're still the limited point of view, the limited consciousness, the limited presence that doesn't remember itself, doesn't experience itself. So the first answer to any question on how to get something done comes to be, are you willing to be present here with that? And I have so much of my life that I can't be present in right now. It seems beyond my ability. But the lesson for me, month after month after month, is that when I'm feeling this way, which is all the time, it's just my time isn't always on what am I feeling and why and who am I being when I'm feeling it. It's not natural yet to, once I realize that I'm striving for something, and in developing the methods for optimizing the striving, I forget to ask the question that if I were more clearly, authentically me, would I have to do any of that, or would I just naturally be what I came here to be, someone that actually has no trouble getting things done because he loves what he's doing. And so my problem is I've always followed things that I didn't do for love. And it seems like all those doors are blocked and shut, that at this point in my life I can't do it now if I'm not doing it for love. Well, that's a pleasant thing to realize, finally. One, that I'm capable of love, both giving it and receiving. And then I enjoy that. I prefer that. I prefer love to conflict. And that's a new shift in my reality. And so that will create a new me. A version of me that's a much clearer representation of whatever my highest truth is, if you want to frame it that way. Yeah, what happens when you awaken? You find the transcendent within you. What does that feel like to a body? Just remember that. And is it okay for you? Is it okay to actually awaken? Whatever that is. If you're asleep, then you can't even know what awakening is. But, based upon everything I can consider, I say yes, even though I can't fully know what it is until I'm experiencing it. But yes, I'm diving in. So. It's only achievable in the moment. And if you're trying to achieve it, you miss the point. So all you have to do is rest in the truth of yourself. Not just the truth of the body, but the truth of your consciousness, of your presence, of everything that's authentic and real about you. And again, for me, this is a tremendous shift because I hold so much trauma in my body. It's my identity, who I am. So, if I can't be that anymore, then, it's time. It's time for a shift. So let's both do it at the same time.
Yeah.
Let's feel what it's like to be us. Let's feel what it's like to be us. And if you're watching this, follow along. What does it actually feel like to be you? Anything that you've run away from or disconnected from, this is the time that you get to come back and, be whole with it. Take responsibility for everything about you. Everything that you've been hiding from yourself, good and bad, both. No more fragmented, divided states of consciousness. Things that make you go in loops and patterns and repeats. Yeah, we have to transcend that if we want to be free of it. And just feel what's happening in you right now, from your crown to your third eye to your heart, your throat chakra. Everything being filled with light. It's not exactly the easiest thing in the world to just let something happen. Which is kind of funny. But you're the one that has real power in your life. It's your choice. When you're in the dream, you don't wake up until you choose to be awakened. And when you choose it as your awakened self. It doesn't need to struggle to get there. It just goes, oh, here I am again. Back in the here and now. Awakened. And that's how easy it should be. And I think unless you do that, I don't even know if it's possible. But certainly the easy way is just to experience it and then own it. Because it becomes you. It is you. So regardless of what you created yourself to be and how degraded you might feel about yourself, it doesn't matter how infinitely it has to change for it to be a clear mirror of the truth of yourself now, but that's okay. You're here to allow yourself to change, to transcend, to transform. You're here to realize the truth, to realize freedom, to realize yourself as light and love. To be a true blessing. One that's real and obvious. What a tremendous shift, it takes. But you can feel your way into this. Whatever it is in each moment, as you embrace it and open and expand and let go, you refine, finer and finer, less and less mass, less density, more mobility, more awareness, more conscious. So I talked about it a lot more, and as a result of that, popped out of it. So let's just pop back in, because that's it. You just say, all right. Then open and experience your truth again, just. As soon as you realize that you stop doing it, being real. So I would say that being something real would be being something that's eternal. Something eternal within the finite, within that which has a temporal existence, a beginning and an end. So the eternal within the body. That would be real. Now, if the eternal is already in the body, but the body doesn't experience that, then what's the difference between the separated consciousness of the embodiment and the universal and eternal creator consciousness that inhabits everybody? It doesn't matter what the answer to the question is. It only matters that you receive it and allow it to defrag your hard drive, so to speak, to inspire you to open and surrender to the divine in you. Surrender to your divinity. like Jesus did, like Buddha did. It's not so out of line to begin to be open to the miraculous. It's not cheating. It's doing everyone a favor. If you can open to the miraculous in and around you, so will a bunch of people you know. And how fun would that be? All of your friends and family, awakened and loving and free. Why not that? First the transcendent has to find its home in you. And you have to open up and let that happen. Because that's the only thing that's prevented you from being divinely aware and realized. The simple fact that you weren't allowing yourself to experience it. But now's a good time. And you're in a good place. So find that transcendence that already has its home in you. That radiance. That lover of, not just lovers, but lover of all. Okay, well this is beginning to move some things around for me. And it feels just like what I would have hoped for. But there's still parts I want to complain about at the same time. How do we open up enough to be reborn, to move in a new way, to move with greater freedom and joy and understanding? How do we move as that right here and right now? Yeah, so feel that opening and just let it happen. Just let it open in you. And again, what's created is what's created. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. There's no reason for you to shut down your opening. So stay in your opening. Experience that wholeness. And allow your wholeness to re-educate everything. Your cells, your systems, your subconscious, your brain, your heart, your mind. How does a realized being move once awakened? You know? Ask yourself that. And open and experience whatever the answer is. And allow that experiential understanding allow you to utilize that answer in completing your transformation. So whatever it is just added to your wholeness. And becoming a blessing to you. Feel that. All those internal traumas that were somehow actually blessing you. Now they're part of your wholeness. And they move into their own freedom. You know, they experience their own version of grace and joy. So what about you and what about me? What version of our grace and joy are we willing to experience? Completely privately, within each one of our experience of ourselves. Not suggesting anything to anyone else ever. How much joy, how much grace, how much love are you willing to have within you as who you are? How you're present here, how you're manifest. How much grace do you allow to manifest through you? Well, apparently, you're opening into more and more in each moment, so it's impossible to measure. Yeah, so much grace. Your heart's opening beautifully right now. And why not? Yeah, how much grace? Are we willing to be filled with grace? Our body, our heart, our mind, our soul? In the wholeness of an awakened grace, are we open to that experience? Check for yourself. Are you open to experiencing this state of grace as you right now? It's a difficult choice, to be sure. But you keep coming up with stuff that is painful and horrible that you want to be rid of. And so, that's what you let go of and surrender. You surrendered into that love, into that divine embrace. That divine embrace encompasses everyone and everything. So it's there for each one of us, it's there for all of us, but when you decide that it's time for you to re-experiencing that truth, that reality, then let it happen to you and quit worrying about anybody else in terms of who and what they're choosing to be. Choose for yourself and let it happen. And let that choice be the software that operates your expressions here. What you say, what you feel, how you move, how you think. How much light? Now, does it matter if you're imagining that light up above you and descending and down into and penetrating your crown and on down through your other chakras? And does it matter if it happens that way? Because I don't know if it happens that way, if that's something that you wake up from when you awaken from normal sleep. So how much of an awakening are you willing to have? How much change are you willing to accept? How much loss of identity that was confused and traumatized and victimized, and how much of that are you willing to lose forever to the story of, oh, that one wasn't going in the direction of a happily ever after, let's let that go. Let's reevaluate. Where is our happily ever after? That life worth living. You know, that presence that made the world a better place. Now feel that in your room. You can be the presence that makes the world a better place. You're doing it right now. You're finally being here authentically. And it's a beautiful experience for me. It's just astounding how much sensations we've locked in our body, unpleasant ones. But when you willingly confront them by opening into and giving them a truly conscious embrace, or you experienced whatever was painful to you in an open and willing way, then there we say we begin to get to the point of a stabilized realization, one that we don't keep falling back into the paradoxical, polarized reality that we've been living in. How lovely can it be for us if we just shift our reality right now? Feel it. Feel the answer to the question as to how lovely life can be for you. How healthy, how loving, how conscious, how graceful, how joyful, yeah. How exciting. So allow your nervous system to get used to this feeling right now. Just ask your nervous system to focus its attention on the reality that you're experiencing right now. So your nervous system knows your wholeness. So your subconscious knows that you're taking conscious control. You don't need to be pushed and pulled through reality by systems. Yeah, what is there to consider? You know, we've experienced a bunch of different shifts in states. But what is the trigger to being divinely present? Or if you don't like that word, being cosmically conscious. And seemingly having, kind of a universal consciousness and knowing. If it's real and if it's true, why shouldn't it be you? Once somebody moves past all the projections and definitions and defenses of you, what do they find? What do they find on the other side of all of the pretense? They find the you that would save everyone if it were truly present. And each one gets to make that choice of how much truth, how much of their eternal nature are they willing to experience and be here for themselves and for the rest of us. So there's longer and longer pauses as we do one of these sessions, because you get into the surrender, into the embodiment of the things that have come up for you to pay attention to. And so that's part of the process, we're not just talking about it, we're opening into an experiential understanding, and we're opening the best that we can for that to not just be a temporary thing, but a transformational one. Now, what sort of awakening is truly transformational? One that just opens you up and you stay in that truth. It doesn't fall away anymore. So what is the trigger for transcendent transformation? You got any ideas?
Mm-hmm.
I can feel them. I don't know what to say about naming them, but I keep feeling my limitations. I'm feeling a bunch of stuff physically in my neck. But it all seems to be things that, if I'm being present in the body, I'll have to come to light. So it's no big deal, it's just the process. We made the choice, we're experiencing the transformation. We don't have to look too closely at any one part of it, because it's in transition already. All you have to do is open and feel and let go and surrender. You don't have to be an encyclopedia about techniques. Well, that's a lot to feel and a lot to let go of. How are you doing? You've been feeling what I've been feeling?
Yes, of course. It was a change. I'm feeling peace. I'm feeling calm.
Well, it seems like I've got a bunch more to let go of and not much more to say. So I hope you got everything that you wanted out of this one tonight, and allow it to stay with you. Allow it to become you. Allow it to be that beacon of invitation, into your freedom, into your wholeness, into your healing.
Thank you so much.
And I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Good night.
Have a beautiful night.
Bye. I'll see if I can come back to myself a little bit. The only reason to watch anything like this, is for you to use it to become who you came here to be. That wholeness, that holiness, that sublime, authentic you. Let's share that. And share that from eternity. Share that universally. Allow the transcendent to be true in you as you. Hmm. Well, on that silence, we'll say goodnight. Don't sign up. Don't come back. Enjoy your life. Love